is if affirmations work the way we were told they would, a lot of women in midlife would not feel stuck. It's not that we're ungrateful. It's not that we're negative. It's just that these words that we've been convinced to repeat year after year, they're not working anymore. There's like this moment when your body starts telling you, no, I need different language. And instead of giving it different language, we keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's what we're talking about today. We don't want your body to tighten up. We want you to feel loose and figure out how to talk to yourself in a way that really works. So let's get started. So welcome to Getting to After. I'm Chatone Morrison. I'm the host of the Getting to After podcast. I'm an EFT coach, a confidence coach for midlife women. And today we're talking about those pesky little things called affirmations. We all quietly love them and maybe hate them at the same time. Morgan and I believe that they need a serious update. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because even though we use them in every single episode, if you get our Getting to After magazine, which you need to get the magazine, but I digress. We'll talk about that later. You will see that we use affirmations. The question is, do they make you feel stuck or do they make you feel better? But before we get started, let me introduce you to Morganne Bustos. Go ahead and introduce yourself, girl.
Hey, everybody. I'm Morganne Bustos. I'm an EFT practitioner, a life coach, and a public speaker. I'm also an advocate for women impacted by domestic violence. And what I honestly care about is being able to help women and feel like they have a safe place to land, a place where their strength doesn't have to be proven, and more than anything, that their truth doesn't have to be polished. So, Chatone, honestly, I love this topic because we've used it with ourselves, and it can either support us and give us like a sense of safety, or it can quietly work against us, right? And in this part of being like in our 40s, I think because of the way that we motivated ourselves previously, earlier in life, it doesn't often work the same way now.
It doesn't. Exactly. And that's why the affirmations stop working. It's exactly this whole thing. And so there's ways we can do things instead of just going back and doing what we've always done. So let me ask you, when you first started using affirmations, and I think I remember when it was, and it's probably me who taught you to use them, and I was telling you the wrong way, I'm sorry. What did yours used to sound like?
Okay, so I don't remember the exact affirmations I would use, but I know that they were like super, super duper positive statements. Like, I'm confident, I am enough, I am myself, I trust myself, I'm amazing, that kind of thing.
Me too. Me too. And in fact, I'm a person who literally died on every hill once I started using them. But I also died on every hill when I thought that they were bogus. I remember the first time I was listening to an audiobook. Was probably not an audiobook because it was back in the day. But anyway, it was something audio I was listening to. And this person was saying how he lost 200 pounds or whatever just by saying that I'm a thin person. And I remember standing outside of my house, not this house, my house across town, and saying, you, sir, must be out your mind. Right. And it was probably not 6 months later that I totally would kill you if you're talking about you don't believe in affirmations. So yes, I am an all or nothing type of girl. I was either for them or I was against them, because at the time before I wasn't ready. After doing research and practicing, I realized that affirmations work, but there's a little problem with the languaging. And I think when I didn't like them at all, that's probably what it was. I probably already knew what everyone was going to find out like 20 years later. It didn't feel so right. It just didn't feel. And that's the nervous system saying, that sounds like a threat, not a goal. That doesn't sound like something that we're actually living in right now.
Oh, and that's the biggest part about it too, is that big gap between what you're saying and then what your body actually feels is true. And then your body will not calm down because it's irresistant. And it's like it goes on high alert. It's like danger, Will Robinson, danger.
You and Will Robinson. You're telling your age, Morgan. We said midlife, but come on.
Oh God.
Girl, we gotta have an episode on the tea we're drinking, because this tea I got today. Listen, this one, well, I got it in Asia. It's really good. We'll talk about it. It's lemon, but it is a pure, strong lemon. I got it over in Indonesia. It's so good. Let me not digress into that, but it is coating up in here. One of the things is we don't need more resistance, Morgan. We have enough of that. We've worked jobs. We've been caretakers. We don't need more resistance. And I think the thing that's interesting, and this one is kind of touchy, but when we're in women's spaces, a lot of times you're almost bullied into using affirmations or affirmational speech. I remember one of my friends said that after I was using a lot of affirmational speech, of course, I had the whole fat and happy movement, focus attention and take time. There's affirmations throughout the book. She would say things to me like, I can't stand toxic positivity. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not where I am yet, because
Mm-hmm.
this isn't toxic. This is real. But in many women's spaces, and I hate to say it, but especially in network marketing spaces, there's no room for your truth.
Yeah.
So someone's going to ram it down your throat that you should be able to do more. You just have to write your affirmations down and repeat them every single day, and everything's going to be fine for you. There's no room for more mindset work if your mindset is not where you want it to be yet. Like, you have to meet yourself where you are. But I know we were, no, we never want to talk negative about any company, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Girl, you know what? I don't even want to think about that, because I remember back in the day often feeling so much worse after saying those positive affirmations. And I didn't know why. Like, I was like, okay, am I doing this wrong? Am I supposed to say something else, like reframe it some other way? And then I started using like a self-soothing system. And I saw that the plain old affirmations that I was using, it didn't work, because I was telling myself to like leap too far ahead instead of taking it just a small step at a time. So it wasn't making sense to my nervous system. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like tea to me. Sounds like tea to me. Preach. Okay. It's like, think of it this way. If you think of what I think of affirmations now, especially, again, I'm never like, oh, I was always there. I just knew it didn't land for me. And I've already got to let you guys know that I'm a highly sensitive person. So being highly sensitive, usually I get to something before I know what it is. So when I was trying to use the affirmations, it didn't work. It's not that it didn't work. Let me be honest. It felt like it wasn't working. It felt fake. And everyone else said it was working. Everyone else said it was a wonderful. So I felt that same disconnect that you were feeling. Most affirmations kind of like throw the door open, like throw it open and say, run in, commit, believe, be different right now. Everything's great. And your body said,
I'm sorry, what?
No, and it may even yell at you and use words that you typically don't use in the process. And I think what works better is kind of edging the door open, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like, these are the affirmations that we use, and these are the kind of things that we use even with our clients. It's edging the door open. It's just, is there a possibility? And so many times that's really where you are of midlife. All these things have already happened to you. You just need to like inch the door open just to see a little bit of light, like an inch of light, just enough to peek. And it's not that you're afraid of what's on the other side. It's just knowing that there's an idea over there, and maybe it exists for me. Maybe it's something that I can take into myself. But you have to meet your nervous system where it is, because if not, it feels like you're trying to force yourself to agree with something that actually maybe does scare you, or feels like I'm completely unready for it. I think that, the way that we often talk, and if our listeners, thank you for being here, of course, by the way, whether you're here in the premiere or the replay, a lot of times you'll hear us talking about opening, being willing. You'll hear us talking about permission. Permission is so powerful. Yeah. I know, Morgan, you've talked a lot about the fact that that was the one thing that you didn't have. You didn't have permission. So imagine never having permission, never being able to like make a step without making a phone call when you were in that DV situation, and then walking into a woman's space and them telling you to say all these things. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I love myself. I am enough. And then every single night going back to a situation where that wasn't true. That's not going to work.
Definitely not. And that's why EFT has been such a game changer for so many women, because when you tap, you're not just like saying the words, you're actually signaling safety to your body. Yeah. And while that's it just hits completely differently. Yeah. So instead of I trust myself, we might tap on part of me doesn't trust myself yet. Yeah. And that makes sense, right? And then suddenly the body has that calm exhale, right? Because EFT doesn't force belief. It creates a space for us to be able to grow. It's really, really a beautiful situation. And that's why we tap every episode, is because we know it works, right?
Yep.
And it does. It really, really does. And once you know something that you want to share it, that's why we talk so much about it. And just like if you find a good recipe or something, you want to tell your friends, that's what EFT is about. And I
Unless
know
you're a gatekeeper, unless you're a gatekeeper, then you give her the recipe, but you leave out the most key ingredient. So we
we've
are
had
not
that.
gatekeepers here, okay? We're not. In fact, before this episode was taped, Morgan was trying to pick all up and through my brain for my delicious chicken recipe.
Mm,
Um, and I told her everything. I gave it all up. And by the way, if you don't have the winter edition of the Getting to After magazine, there are some delectable recipes in there. Morgan's going to talk a little bit more about the magazine later, but I will tell you what, you don't want to miss the recipes, and you
mm-mm.
can absolutely get a copy of the magazine. All the information will be in the description box below. All right, so when we tap, you're going to hear some affirmations, but before that, we always want to settle our system. And I want to say one more thing, Morgan, about even the idea of affirmations. It is mindset work.
Mhm.
It is, getting, and so there's nothing wrong with them. It is getting yourself to up level your thinking. It's a way of self talk that is elevated. It's a way of meeting yourself in a different space. But if your nervous system is not ready for that, it's going to put you on high alert, which we were talking
Yeah.
about. It's going to sound that alarm. And so many times in these spaces, and I love these women network marketing type spaces. I've been in them for over 10 years, but I know how to settle my nervous system.
Yeah.
I look around the room many times and I see the people who are skeptics. I see the people that are like, this is sus. I see the people going through the motions and they don't really believe it. Then they don't have the success. They blame themselves. And on top of all of that, they've done damage to their nervous system in those moments. They do it over and over again. It's just like ground instead of that, right? Like do something else. So that's your invitation.
To ground.
Yes. All right, can you hit us with some grounding, Morgan?
Okay, everybody. So before we tap, let's go ahead and just help our body to arrive where we're at right now. So we're going to go ahead and place our feet firmly on the ground. If you have your shoes on, you can go ahead and kick those off. That way you can really feel the texture of everything. And then I'm going to invite you to notice the support beneath you in your chair. You can also go ahead and take your neck. We're going to roll our neck from one side to the other. You can hear your neck popping possibly, a granulated sound, and the tension releasing. We also want to notice our shoulders. A lot of times this is where we hold the stress in our body. So we want to take your arms and your shoulders and pull them up to your ears, put them back, and go in a circular motion a couple of times. And that really helps you release the tightness not only in between your shoulder blades, but also in your chest. And then you can go ahead and you can bring your attention to your chest. We can take a deep breath in and out. And just take a second to notice the movement that's right there in your chest. You can also let your attention move to your belly. No need to change anything. Just notice. Notice the breath going in and out. You can take your hand and place it on your stomach. Show yourself that you're safe right here and right now. If your eyes are closed, you can open them and take a look around. Focus on a couple things you might see. You can notice two different sounds. Try to hear, it can be either something near or far away. Or you can just be quiet and listen to the silence. And then we're going to take one more easy breath in and out. And let's get ready to tap.
Beautiful. Morgan, I always say this every single time, but there's something about being quiet and being aware. And I think that one of the things that affirmations overall are these positive statements, sometimes they don't allow space for that, or they're happening regardless of whether there's quiet going on. I have learned again from some of the women's spaces, if you're doing affirmations while yelling, not really sure that matches. Okay. I'm not 100% sure about that. And they have their place. But
Yeah.
I do think it's really important to think about how are you arriving? So I like that word. How do you arrive to tapping? How do you arrive to grounding? How do you arrive any place? Because sometimes that's what the affirmations need to help you do. Sometimes it's just how are you arriving in yourself when you wake up in the morning? When you are attuned to that and you're
Mm.
able to embody how you want to feel, then affirmations will land, especially the ones that we're going to be using through this tapping. It's going to land better. So I want to start this conversation, kind of this particular tapping transformation, about affirmations being whether you use them or not. What we do, no matter what, is have self-talk.
Mm.
And this is not because you're standing in your house talking to yourself, which if you do that, you're a genius. Just saying that. You are the best person to talk to. All right. And then you can talk to other people. But you have to mind the conversation you have with yourself first.
Mm.
I think a lot of times affirmations leap over that. Again, that's that idea of having the door swung wide open, or
Mm.
whether you decide to open just a little taste. Affirmations might jump over that, especially if they're given to you from someone else or you're doing them in a group, because it's leaping over what's typically going on in your head.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so we're going to think today about when we're doing this particular tapping, whether you use affirmations or not, whether you're willing to start using them as a permission tool, as a purpose tool. Start to think about what does your self-talk sound like, and knowing that this particular tapping transformation can help you with your self-talk, because no matter what, it's in there, it's
Yeah.
happening whether you say it aloud or not. I probably am a person who talks to myself out loud verbally with joy. Okay, everyone doesn't do that. If you do, try it, you might like it. Let's Let's jump into this tapping. We always start on the side of the hand. If you haven't tapped with us before, go ahead and try it. If you're a little nervous, don't be scared. It's not hurting. You may feel some sensations in your body. You may feel yourself release in different ways. We're starting on the side of the hand. This is called the karate chop point, this part between your pinky and your wrist, and we usually tap there to start. And what we're going to be doing during this part is we're going to be kind of neutralizing some of these thoughts we have. We're going to allow the positive thoughts to coexist with the not so positive thoughts. We're going to right away jump into integration, and that's something that the old school affirmations do not allow room for. Even though every time I try to move forward,
Even though every time I try to move forward,
my body tightens
my body tightens,
and I don't know quite how to talk to myself anymore.
and I don't quite know how to talk to myself anymore.
I'm open to listening
I'm open to listening
to what my body needs right now.
to what my body needs right now.
Even though I want movement and change,
Even though I want movement and change,
something in me feels stopped and restricted.
something in me feels stopped and restricted.
But I give myself permission to approach differently.
But I give myself permission to approach this differently.
And even though the old way of motivating myself doesn't seem to work anymore,
And even though the old way of motivating myself doesn't seem to work anymore,
I'm not sure what replaces it yet,
and I'm not sure what replaces it yet,
I'm willing to open the door to a gentler way.
I'm willing to open the door to a gentler way.
Okay, so you can either continue to chat on the side of your hand. I'm going to stop for a second, just talk to you just a moment. As we do this part, you might feel a little resistance. It may feel like, well, if I'm feeling this negative thing because I don't feel like I'm moving forward, how do I start to move forward? This is how you do it. So in the tapping, you'll notice that we said both things. That's a way for your body to know that both things are okay. Remember, the old school affirmations don't necessarily leave room for you to have those feelings, but in tapping, you can. So what we're going to do now, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a count of 4. And then blow out through your mouth. And now we're going to start tapping through the points. You can watch me or you can watch Morgan. You can repeat if you want, but you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Eyebrow. Every time I try to move forward.
Every time I try to move forward.
Side of eye. My body tightens.
My body tightens.
Under eye. I want to change, but I feel stopped.
I want to change, but I feel stopped.
Under nose. There's a pressure in my chest.
There's a pressure in my chest.
Chin. My heartbeat feels stronger when I push myself.
My heartbeat feels stronger when I push myself.
Collarbone. There's a tightness in my shoulders.
There's a tightness in my shoulders.
Underarm. There's a bracing feeling in my belly.
There's this bracing feeling in my belly.
Top of head. I want movement, but I feel restricted.
I want movement, but I feel restricted.
Eyebrow. When is the first time I noticed myself not believing my own words?
When is the first time I noticed myself not believing my own words?
Just keep tapping and think about that for a moment. Side of eye. What if I could talk to myself differently?
And what if I could talk to myself differently?
What would I say?
What would I say?
Under eye. What if the tightness eases when I soften my tone?
What if the tightness eases when I soften my tone?
Under nose. What if I don't have to push so hard?
What if I don't have to push so hard?
Chin. What if encouragement works better?
What if encouragement works better?
Collarbone. What if listening to myself creates movement?
What if listening to myself creates movement?
What if I stopped ignoring how I really feel?
And what if I stopped ignoring what I really feel?
Yeah. Underarm. I think my body knows the pace.
I think my body knows the pace.
Top of head. Is there a gentle voice that opens the way forward?
Is there a gentler voice that opens the way forward?
Okay, just stop tapping for a second. This particular round of tapping and this tapping transformation is a little bit different than we typically do. So I asked you lots of questions. Usually if I ask questions, we do it a little bit before. But when we're tapping, you can actually open up your body. Your body will answer you. And so just be open to feeling it. If you're not tapping with us, don't worry. You can still get borrowing benefits. But I decided to do a round asking questions because self-talk is that important. So you're going to see us doing a little bit more of that. I didn't want you to miss it though. So Morgan, we're going to do one more round. Is that okay with you?
Sounds great.
Okay, let's do it. Eyebrow point. I'm open to finding a new way.
I'm open to finding a new way.
Side of eye. I give myself permission to slow the pressure.
I give myself permission to slow the pressure.
Under eye. I allow my body to respond at its own pace.
I allow my body to respond at its own pace.
Under nose. I'm willing to support myself differently.
I'm willing to support myself differently.
Chin. I don't have to force clarity every single time I speak.
I don't have to force clarity every single time I speak.
Collarbone. I'm willing to choose words that help me move forward.
I'm willing to choose words that help me move forward.
underarm. I'm open to progress that feels sustainable.
I'm open to progress that feels sustainable.
Top of head. I allow movement without tightening.
I allow movement without tightening.
I am willing to believe that I am enough.
I am willing to believe that I am enough.
Okay, stop tapping. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your mouth. So if you did a breath for 4 seconds, try 6 seconds on the exhale. And as Morgan had us doing during the grounding, go ahead and bring your attention back to your chest. You might notice a change. You might notice no change at all. But just leave your hand there for a second. Feel the warmth. And just kind of integrate what we just said about being able to move differently, saying different things to yourself. All right. Now notice your belly. Again, we like to, as women, we're thinking about this, right? So notice your belly. You can kind of put your hand there. I like to use kind of a circular motion or kind of a pressing motion, not to be hard, not to hurt, but kind of pressing in, and then give that resistance back against your hand. That's the thing we're taught not to do. We're told to hold ourselves in. I want you to kind of blow out against your hand and feel that resistance. And just notice, just observe. If something shifted in you today while we were tapping, just note it. Note it down. If nothing shifted, that's okay too. A lot of times a tapping transformation is about awareness, permission, and being honest. You don't have to tell us. You can if you want to, but this is really for you. So take a deep breath in and out. Notice how you feel now. And guess what? You just finished another tapping transformation. So yeah, Morgan, I saw you taking notes on that one. Yes, let's drink a little bit because these things release stuff.
It released a lot right then. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I was taking notes because when I feel it in that exact moment, I want to make sure that I put it down. And not because I'm trying to like hyperfixate on what I was a negativity or a negative moment in that time. It's just because you rapidly process so much information that I want to make sure that this hit home because I felt my chest actually open up in that moment. So I was like, okay, let me make sure that I can go back to that so I can move on again. So it was just amazing. I appreciated it a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that like for you guys, if you felt anything like that, do me a favor and put it in the comments. Like if you felt any kind of release of any kind whatsoever. Okay, so a lot of you have been asking about the Empowerment Essential Kits and how you can help support the women and their children that are victims of domestic violence that are currently in the shelters. And one way you can do that is by going to our website and you can donate there. Or what you can do is you can also get a copy of our winter magazine. So it's bit.ly/G2A-winter26. And it's absolutely amazing how this works. So check this out. By getting the subscription to this or even a single magazine, the single magazine is $10, or you can get the whole subscription of 4 issues for the whole year for $20. And what that does is half of that goes directly to the Empowerment Essential Kits. So that's our give back with Chatone and I. What we do, we give you our time, and then we also go ahead and donate it towards the Empowerment Essential Kits. So that's also a really, really beautiful way that we can help each other, just make a full circle.
Yeah. All right, tell them a couple tidbits that are in the magazine. Look, I'm the editor-in-chief. I don't want to brag, but
okay. So each of us have our own room, which looks like, I don't even know what that, it's just amazing. So it gives you like your own special events that are going on, a whole special tasty treat there. And then you also get to have the breathing room. So that's an audio that we went ahead and put in there. There's just all these personal tidbits that you get from the magazine that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Nope.
So
nowhere else. And that's why I love it. I think the magazine's crazy good. Obviously, y'all know I'm a writer. It's It's visually pleasing. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's it's going to feed you on all these different levels. And of course, it's got exclusive tapping that we don't do anyplace else. We have a couple of new features this time. We have a new leaders room. So for those of you who are, executives, we have a space for you. We know what it's like to be, I specifically know what it's like to be out there feeling a little insecure, but having this show up. Tapping helps with that. And so we want to create that space. We have everything from recipes to photography to poetry to, like, we do all the things in getting to after. So I hope that you get it. It is a labor of love. It's a labor of love for both of us. This is something that I will spend hours and hours and hours at every single quarter, because I believe in people having something tangible to take back with them. But also, when you either donate or you buy a magazine, or it's an e-zine, it also helps us to be able to give these essential kits to women who are in shelter situations. But also, if you decide, you know what, I want to give more, then it allows you to then give someone else. So we're going to be talking more about that. It's something new we decided to do because we have been getting some donations in, and I love that. But we want to be able to thank you. And so it enables you to get something sweet and good for you. It enables the woman who's in a shelter or in a DV transition situation to get something great for her and her family. But then it also allows you to now give a gift. I mean, do you see the circle? All right, you see the circle. So that's what I love. And oh my goodness, so Morgan, there's always new stuff. So I usually tell you guys, you can always hit us up every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. here on YouTube, 8 a.m. Eastern. You can get us on Spotify, 8 a.m. Eastern. And as of last week, Apple Podcast. Okay, it took us so long, but we're now in. Look, I'm an Apple girl, right? So we're now on Apple Podcasts as well. Every Tuesday at 8 a.m. these things drop, and so we're thrilled about the progress. The podcast is going into the third year. We're growing up. It probably because of progressive affirmations, we opened the door, and now it's swung open, and we're excited to what we have to share with you all through 2026.
Oh, yes, because we really don't need louder affirmations. We just need kinder ones, you guys. So a little self-kindness goes a long way. So try to remember that.
That's right. All right. So we're happy you've been with us. We know we gave you a bunch of information today. We hope that you're able to use it. Definitely like, subscribe, share, let other people know. This is the place to be if you're a 40-something and up woman on a Tuesday morning. But of course, our library of podcasts is always right here as well. If you'd like to work with us one-on-one, check the description box. If you'd like to join one of our tapping circles, check for links. They're going to be on all social media so that you know exactly how to grab the two of us to work with you and help you in getting to after. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Mwah.